Hey, I'm Cheetah Hamilton from the IPTKJ music family, and today we're presenting to you the Barbershop Tour. What is that? Well, that's a tour that we go from city to city, stopping at barbershops, presenting the Bible questionnaire to the barber and his customers, and if they answer it right, they get a prize, maybe a free T-shirt or McDonald's card or gas card or we even pay for their haircut. So today we're going to be on this particular episode in Gulfport, Mississippi at Faith at Works Barbershop, and the owner is Brother Joseph. So now we're going to bring that episode to you. We think it's pretty interesting. You can let us know what you think. Okay, today we are at Faith at Works Barbershop in Gulfport, Mississippi on Highway 49. Well, first we want to introduce the owner. You mind introducing yourself, brother?
Joseph Holloway, Picayune, Mississippi, and been over here about 6 years. And, walking by faith.
There you go.
Not my sight. So.
That's what it's all about. Also, we have one of his customers.
I'm a press release from prison, and I found the Lord Jesus Christ while I was incarcerated. And I'm bought by the
All right. So what we're going to do today is, Brother Austin has agreed to participate in the Bible challenge. So I'm going to ask him a Bible question. If he gets it right, he has the choice of a McDonald's gift card or a IPTKJ T-shirt, or we're going to even pay for his haircut. All right? So are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
All right. All right. Now, you've been reading the Bible a while, or are you a beginner, or would you consider yourself a heavyweight?
I began reading the Bible about in 2021. I've read it daily since then. Well, some days, I didn't in the beginning, but as I've progressed, it became more and more engrossing, and as you get taught by the teacher, it becomes an obsession.
Right. Gotcha. So the reason I asked that is because I try to base my Bible questions on how knowledgeable someone may or may not be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always a child before the Lord, and I don't know it as I wish I knew it.
None of us do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly familiar with it, I would say.
Okay. Because, of course, you could ask me a question that I probably can't answer, but that's not what's happening today. Today is the Bible challenge, and I'm running it, okay? All right. All right. I'm going to try to keep it relatively simple.
We wanted to make foods using unique ingredients.
Trying to find one that's not.
Shopify provided us this platform to sell our products to anyone around.
Okay.
We're Barnacle Foods, and we're powered
This
by
is a simple
Shopify.
one. Okay. Real simple. How old was Methuselah when he died? Just hold your feet, so we're talking here. How old was Methuselah when he died?
I don't remember if it was 1,086 or 26 or something like that. I can't remember. He was above 1,000. I remember that.
Okay. That's not the correct answer, but I'm going to give you another one, but we're going to discuss that answer right quick. Anybody here know?
I think he was 996.
You close.
He was 1,000 years old.
Okay.
It wasn't over 1,000.
Okay. He was 969. You had it backwards. You had the two numbers backwards.
Do we get credit for the election?
He was 969. And that's just Bible trivia. Boy, so we wish we would live half that long.
Yeah, but this is what I tell people. I go when I talk to young people and things like this. You don't mind me sharing?
No, go ahead.
I go up to them and I say, how long would you say does the average person live? Someone will say 75, 80 years old. And I'll say, what if the good Lord gave you 500 years? Oh, that's a long time. I said, no, it ain't, because he offered you eternity.
That's right.
A long time. So you can't beat that.
That's right. Exactly. I love that.
My thoughts precisely.
I love that.
All right, we're gonna try it again, Brother Oscar. Okay. Just to who did Jesus say this to? Before the cock crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. Peter. All right. All right. Now, is there anybody who didn't know that? Okay, I think we all do that. All right. Would you opt for a t-shirt, gift card, or would you pay for your haircut?
I would definitely go for the t-shirt.
The t-shirt. Oh, okay. This is even having this friend. What size? This one. More than extra, it's big. Is that okay?
It should fit me fine.
Go ahead and get it. All right.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you. You have a blessed day.
All right.
I would love to try a couple of questions if you want to throw them out there.
Yeah. We love it. We love it.
There's been a few misfires. I think Craig Chico pretty much played it
All right.
for first set and could go nowhere but down. But
Tell me,
you know, it's still a
forward.
tough match. And
The first 3 words in the Bible and the very last word in the
year
Bible.
on the circuit.
First 3 words in the Bible and the very last
So
3
well
words
in
in
the
the Bible.
majors, no pressure on him whatsoever. But now there's a
It's
target on the back.
in the beginning.
Right.
And the last one would be amen.
Praise the Lord.
I was in prison, right? And I was not a godly man, right? My wife was a godly woman, right? And I was doing drugs, and I wasn't seeking the Lord. I was living an evil lifestyle. I was walking as the son of disobedience, right? And I was given over to Satan for the destruction of my flesh, so that I would seek the Lord. I was afflicted, right? And I began to hear voices of things that other people couldn't hear, right? And they witnessed my sins against me, all of them, from all my life, when I was 8 years old, everything, right? They would sit there and accuse me and witness my sins against me, right? And it drove me insane. They would play with me, to pretend that use voices of my loved ones, tell me, you have my wife talking to me, telling me, Austin, I don't want you to call me anymore. You know, I can't tell you over the phone, but I gotta tell you this way. And I thought it was technology. I didn't know where it was going. I was absolutely insane. I was driven to the brink of insanity. One day, I was sitting on my rack and I was smoking a joint. And this thing was talking to me. This devil was talking to me. And I was so fed up with it. And I said, what are you? Right? And it said, Austin, I'm God. And I want you to take out your eye. Right? My rack mate was one of the affiliated gangster people, right? And I looked at him and I knew he had a knife on him. I said, hey brother, you got a knife? He said, yeah, why? Huh?
Sure.
Yes, exactly. He said, yeah, why? I said, I gotta take my eye out. Right? He looks at me and he says, you gotta do that in the bathroom. Right? So I got up, I walked in the bathroom, I dug my fingers into my head and I pulled my eyeball out of my head. Right? Because I thought that's what God wanted me to do. Right? And I still didn't know the Lord. I still didn't know from my Holy Scriptures. I didn't know him at all. Right? So they brushed me to the ambulance, brought me to Jackson, put my eye back in my head, it works just fine, you know, you don't track right quite as well, it's a little blurry, but God healed me. The doctors were astounded, right? And I began to seek an answer to my affliction. Because I looked everywhere I could find, I talked to the things, I couldn't find no answer, I was at my wit's end, right? And I started to read the Bible. And I started in the beginning, the Old Testament, I read the Old Testament, and I was reading it, and I said, wow, I'm going to hell. Right? And, all right, I'm going to hell. It's over with. I'm going to hell. It's done. Right? So I sneak out in the yard. Right? And I get down on my knees. I don't even know how to pray. And I'm talking to God. I said, God, I know I'm not cut out for this heaven thing. This ain't for me. You know, I've read your commandments. I've at least tried to break every one of them. You know, I'm the opposite of what you want me to be. Right? So I know I'm not cut out for this heaven thing, but I know my wife is. So will you please comfort her in heaven when she wakes up without me? Right? And I got up to my knees, and about 10 feet away, the pigeons flew by my head in a perfect heart shape. And that was my first love token from God, right? And He gives them to me often now, right? And in seeking the Lord, I found out that I do indeed deserve to die and go to hell, right? But as I continued to read my scriptures and seek Him, He taught me that He paid the price, right? And that my sins, my debt's paid, right? And that He paid my debt to sin. And He bought me with His blood. And since then, I serve Him as best I can. I fall short every day, but I serve Him. I love Him. But I was given over to Satan. I was given over to Satan for the destruction of my flesh so that my spirit may live. That was in faithfulness He afflicted me.
We thought it was pretty interesting. Won't you guys let us know what you think? We appreciate you watching. Like us, subscribe, and continue to follow us because we're coming with more. Thank you a lot.